So we want to get your opinion as a legal scholar. We appreciate that you went through all your scholastic endeavors so you can come give us some knowledge today.
Yes.
Hip hop right now is going through their Me Too movement. All right. The first, I guess, case to drop is Diddy.
Yeah.
How was that settled so quickly?
Okay, this is fascinating to me. So that one was settled so quickly, I believe, because her attorneys were really brilliant. They didn't sue just Diddy. They sued his corporations.
They sure did.
And they sued his corporations and sued in her capacity as an employee. When you do that, it triggers commercial liability insurance.
Yeah.
And it triggers another policy called directors and officers. Okay, and we know he's a director of these companies as the CEO. So now you got two policies. What happens then is it takes away Puffy's ability to settle. It's not his choice no more.
So it's no longer personal accountability. It's his organization.
It's his organization. And it's no different than like if you hit somebody with your car. Let's say you have State Farm. State Farm gets to decide to settle, not you. You could say, I didn't run the stop sign. That's not true. They're lying. If State Farm says, we don't care, we did our investigation, we're settling, that's it. That's what happened here. So because they added those claims, the corporate insurance carrier got to say, read over it and say, oh, hell no, we giving her the money. Because if they don't, right? So also her lawyers, they get to write a letter, it's called a demand letter, and they get to say, we are demanding the limits of your insurance policy.
Oh, yeah,
that means
that'd have been crazy. Yeah.
And here's what's wild. If they read over it and they realize, based on these facts here, it would be reasonable to give that. If they don't give it to them, and let's say the policy is $30 million, but they go to trial and the jury gives her $250 million.
Correct.
They got to
pay 50. Yeah. And that discovery process and trial would have been
They got to
crazy.
pay the $250 million, and they got to pay the extra for all of his attorneys. If his attorneys alone cost $1 million, they got to pay that, even though it was only a $30 million policy. So basically, because of the facts and because it's now a corporate policy, Diddy don't have the right to settle anymore, and that's how it happened so fast.
Do you think that she got the full 30?
Oh, I know that she did.
You think it's full 30?
As an attorney, I believe so, because that's how it happens that fast, is because when you give them the policy cap, there's nothing to argue about anymore.
Wow.
Right?
No, you're right.
I didn't know it was that deep.
So basically, if Diddy would have never signed her to his label or made her an employee in some kind of way, this lawsuit wouldn't have happened as easily, or wouldn't have happened, period.
No.
So it's crazy because I never sat there and really thought why they go so hard about like employees not dating employees at big companies. This is why. Because there creates even what would be considered, and see, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to fully say whether or not I believed or disbelieved the accusations. And if she's truly a victim of all these things, or if anyone's truly a victim of all these things, I never want to deny them that right. I never want to belittle the situation. However, this does take a little bit of credence away from the weight of the allegations for me, because the fact that these legal things were laid out in a sense of what the dynamic is and what money you can get when you sue someone that is an employer of yours is completely different, because it's like, even what is in the guise of an appropriate relationship, if it makes you feel a way as an employee, can be a lawsuit. So even just us fucking or doing whatever, anything that is a different dynamic outside of worker and employer and employee, that's suable. And it seems like she really went for the jugular. If it happened to her, of course she deserves it. And even if it didn't happen to her, just the fact that she was this smart, you gotta tip your hat to that. But like, or if she was advised that way, but like, this just drills home to me the fact of like, you really can't shit where you eat. Like, because a lawsuit, when you have a sexual dynamic with someone who pays your bills, it seems like there'll always be something there to sue for. If you wanted to.
Yes. Primarily, yes. I mean, it goes to show you that even if you're a man of any type of higher access of wealth, you're always going to be a target. You always gonna have a target. Now, me personally, I believe the allegations mainly because I've already heard the rumors, and I've heard the rumors for years, and some of these things are well verified. Like some of these things, like him having the naked guys in the pickup games, like the naked basketball stuff. A lot of this has
I
been.
never heard that one.
You've never heard of that? Of him having guys do pickup games and having them play naked? That was a well-known thing, bro.
I never knew that.
Yes.
And
yes. Yes, that's a well-known thing.
If you can bounce if you could dribble a basketball through your legs with your dick hanging out there, you a brave soul, my nigga.
Yeah,
like,
man.
nah, I'm not going for the alley oop with my nuts out. That's crazy,
bro. I know it's ridiculous. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's difficult to say because there's a lot of it's here's my thing, right? It's hard to argue that this is necessarily about justice, right? When you're not going for the justice aspect of it, you're going for what would be the legal settlement amount, right? You're going immediately. The lawyers that you have are telling you what the insurance policy is. They're telling you, yo, we can guaranteed get $30 million based on the insurance policy if we do this, and we're gonna do this, and we get paid. To me, that's very different from just a justice perspective. Like, if you're going to go and do something for justice, you know what the difference is? Is like, Johnny Depp did what he had to do for justice. Like, he sued Amber Heard for justice. He didn't care about how much money the bitch had. Even if she had the money to afford whatever lawsuit result, whatever, Johnny Depp didn't give a shit because he wanted justice. He wanted to clear his name. His name got dragged through the mud. So when certain things like this happen, and now I've seen both aspects of it, right? I've seen a woman, we're talking about a woman be abused. Well, in Johnny Depp's case, we're talking about a man being abused, right? It's clear to me who's doing it for a sense of justice and for retribution in terms of that, and who's doing it to profit. Cassie's doing it for profit.
I understand.
It is what it is.
No, I understand the point, but I think there's no way to compare the two. Because Johnny Depp was a representation of himself.
Yeah.
His outside of the advisors that he may pay, all of that lived and died on him. P. Diddy is the face, the head of multiple businesses that were targeted in this that involve a lot of people.
Oh, of course.
So his decision making isn't even fully his own. It's completely different when you're going in there to represent yourself compared to I'm about to represent Bad Boy. I'm about to represent Revolt. I'm about to represent all of these companies that are being targeted as a whole. You got to also think Bad Boy was also distributed by a company bigger than that. I think it was either, I forgot which one, it might have been Universal. But the point is she didn't sue him. That's what she's saying.
Yes.
She's saying, no, she went for the companies.
Yes.
So you can't really compare the two because we don't know what Diddy wanted to do. What we do know for a fact is that this wasn't a full Diddy decision. This is a company decision.
Of course.
He's the face of it, though. And even though it was solely his actions that were being targeted or being sued for, he wasn't going to be the one that was fully liable. Yes. So I can't necessarily say which one is for justice and which one is not, because I do think the way Diddy responds to this, if it was just him, I can't say what he would do or he wouldn't do. Yeah. I do know that a different response could warrant a different public perception of what he's doing.
The reason why I say it's not for justice is because if it's a deliberate decision she's making to not sue specifically Diddy, right? This isn't a criminal case. This is a civil case. This isn't criminal. Where Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, that was a criminal. He was doing it for criminal. He wasn't doing it for civil. Like, and that's the difference. When you're suing someone because of a crime, it's different for suing someone and suing the corporation.
Still different, right? Because the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation was fresh. This is a situation that criminally wouldn't be able to be proved even if let's say it was true, right? Just for for conversational reasons.
Yeah.
We do know that different victims respond to things in different ways, right? She was young when she met him, whatever the case may be. If she was a victim, you know what I'm saying? We don't know the truth. So 35 years old, 30 years old, I think she's 35. At 35 years old, you may feel differently about a situation that happened to you when you were 19. You may feel like you would handle it a different way. Doesn't mean it can be handled.
So do you think that you should be able to sue if you're 40 and something happened to you when you was 19? Do you think that you should still be able to sue over that thing at 40?
I whether or not you should be able to, I don't necessarily have an opinion on yet. I would have to sit there and really do some thinking on it. But the fact is,
well, I mean, you could use any example of it.
No. What I'm saying though is it's not what I would think. It's what she's able to do. So here's the thing: is if all you can do is sue, if that's the only get back you can get, then that's the get back you get. My thing is the act of wanting get back. So how you can get it, even the way she was able to get it now was a limited time thing.
Yeah,
she may have been trying to get back for years and never could, and then finally this new lane opened up real quick. Like, yo, you hear about? So I can't necessarily judge how a person gets their get back, especially when your get back is on someone as powerful as P. Diddy. The reason I don't really see it as such a malicious act, let's say he didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
The reason I don't really see that is malicious as I would see it as like an Amber Heard. Well, I can't even see, and this is where it gets I'll put it like this, right? Because I don't want to contradict myself. When you marry a woman, a stick up ensues, and it honestly, like the cheaper to keep her thing. I'm not saying it would have been cheaper for him to keep her as a wife. Might have been cheaper to make her a part owner or in some way a capacity owner or director or something in these companies, because that right there would have took away her ability to sue compared to her being an employee. So she wants she gonna get her bread, man. You like it comes with the game, bro. Whether he did it or not, billionaires' biggest financial losses, if you go through their lifetime, is usually divorce, and this is a product of that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Shout out to my man, Coach Greg Adams. He says it all the time, man. Suing is the new divorce. So it's like these chicks ain't getting married no more. All right, so what that mean? All right, well, nigga, you fucked me 20 years ago. I'm gonna sue you. Like that's really what's going on now. And this shit is crazy. And we're seeing this in multiple areas and multiple lanes, all happening at the same time. This shit ain't no fucking coincidence. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it. That ain't no coincidence to me. Y'all can feel however to feel you. I don't. I'm a person who's very fond on patterns. All right, and seeing patterns. That's how I follow my life. That's how I've stayed out of trouble. That's how I've made the money that I've made. That's why I've done all the things that I've done. It's because I am focused primarily on pattern detection. And when I notice something that is a pattern, that shit ain't no fucking coincidence. So at the end of the day, do I feel bad for Diddy? No, because I'm not gonna lie, Diddy, you're a creepy nigga. This needed to happen. This needed to happen to you, bro. Bad boy. Now who's bad, nigga?
I just want to say I would never cancel Diddy's music. I don't give a fuck what y'all. Y'all thought I ain't get rid of Kells. If you think I'm getting rid of ran out of ammo and started throwing bottles, you out your mind.
Just put a clause like the nigga can't dance anymore.
Yo, you can't dance anymore.
You can't publicly
dance. You can't party anymore.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
All right, well, yo, we went over it, but it's all good. We can continue to go on about this. If you want us to continue to come back to more Diddy news, like, comment, subscribe. Comment it, and then subscribe.
All right, subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 before the year ends.